Hola chavales, estamos aquí en un nuevo vídeo, soy TheDragon-fly y esta os traigo un nuevo episodio de Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. En el anterior episodio vinimos al malogrado del varón sangriento que bueno, se acaba de convertir en una doméstica, ¿no? Hostias, las notificaciones de la batería, que asco dan.
With your name I beseech you. Hear my call and arise, Dea. Lead me to those bound to you by blood.
Vale. Ahora hay que seguir al malogrado, a la malograda esta.
One fucked up face.
Como en el anterior episodio luché contra 10 apariciones, me he quedado bastante flojo de vida. Y el problema es que al no estar a la luz del sol, pues no tengo ya recuperación hasta que se acabe de día.
Fuck.
Vale. A ver. ¿Os imagináis un The Witcher 4?
Fuck off or I'll
Sería tan bonito.
That stench.
Y coño, con la vida que me queda no me enfrento. A no ser que lo puedo evitar, no me enfrento.
Sure wasn't lavender they kept in there. Might be worth looking around, though. Clothing. They change in here? Horseshoe. No way a pitch burner could afford a horse. A bracelet. One of them must have dropped it. Both were here. I'm going the right way. Wants to show me something more.
No, paso. Joder. Es que paso de enfrentarme a nada ahora. Vamos con la doméstica.
Necrophages had a field day. Still worth a closer look.
Joder. Joder, otro. Vale.
What do we have here? Bones have been here a while. Chewed on the saddle. Necrophages will eat anything these days. Giant claws. Wasn't a necrophage made these marks.
Vale.
Horseshoes missing. Is this the animal that lost one in the smokehouse?
Y su cabeza.
Head torn clear off. Takes incredible strength. Must have been attacked by a powerful beast. Surprised him. Hope they got away. Trail goes on. Good thing it doesn't end here.
Estoy regenerando vida. Porque tan lentamente. No, tío, no. McLovin. Vamos a ver.
A fisherman's hut. Seems she wants me to take a closer look.
Una cabaña con niños.
Who's that? The room. Go on now.
What you seek here, sir? Our hut's out of the way. Woeful. We has nothing. We knows nothing.
Just need information. Looking for 2 women. The Bloody Baron's wife and daughter.
Not a soul have been here, sir.
Sure? Not even passing through? Daughter's medium height, about 20. Her mother's thin, about 40. Seen them?
That sir came at night, right, Mummy? Quiet, boy.
Where'd the girl go? Your son said enough. No point in playing dumb anymore.
Sorry, sir, but you don't look like one of her father's men.
Because I'm not. I'm looking for Tamara and her mother. I need to know if they're alive and safe.
Tamara is high. She's to my brother's place in Oxenford. But Mrs. Anna, that's another tale. Though anywhere's better than the Crow's Perch with a Baron.
Why?
Cause he beat her, sir. Beat Mrs. Anna, I mean. Everyone knew, but not a one lifted a finger for to stop it.
What happened to Tamara's mother?
Twere like this. I was awaiting in the old smokehouse with horses. Cold as hell and so dark, couldn't see past 2 ells in front of you. Moon had risen high, and still they hadn't come. Began to fear some demon had snatched them. But finally, they came forth, and we sets off towards the river. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a gale arose. Thought it'd tear my head off. And those damn birds, swarms of them coursing o'er the woods, raising a racket to make your ears bleed. Mrs. Anna screamed, bent over into herself. Tamara knelt down, gripped her arms. 'Twere then I saw it. Fiery marks on her hands.
What marks?
These, well, like burned on with hot iron. On the palms, inside.
Burned? Like a cattle brand?
Aye, though these wasn't black scars scabbed over. They's hot and glowing, as if they burned with raw fire.
Fine. What happened next?
Grew even darker. Seemed someone had put out the stars. Crickets all went silent of a sudden. And then, from the woods, a roar. Broke out in a cold sweat, and before I could catch my breath, a beast jumped out of the woods, big as a barn, with horns and 2 burning coals for eyes. I thought I was done for. Beast attacked Mrs. Anna's horse, ripped its head off, carried her off into the woods. Our horses, mine and Miss Tamara's, got spooked and tore off willy-nilly. 'Twas the only reason we escaped.
The miss wanted to go back for her mother, but my wife pleaded, said she'd die out there alone. Miss Tamara agreed not to go.
A while back, I met a woman in Crookback Bog. Had fiery marks on her skin like the ones you described.
Must be her, Mrs. Anna. Gods.
¿Era la vieja loca que cuidaba de los niños?
It's where I saw her last.
Gods of all the heavens protect us. 'Tis clear now who's whispered to her in the night.
It is?
The crones took her. She must have made a deal with them. A pact.
Es ella.
It's why they marked her and
Esa
took her
vieja
when she
loca
was their
que
own.
cuidaba a los niños.
Why help them at all? You risked a lot.
I did that.
Pues esa no tenía pinta de 40 años, tenía
3
pinta de
months
bastante más.
past, a fever gripped my boy. We thought he was done for. Tamara alerted, brought food and salves. We're poorer than dirt itself. She saved my boy. No 2 ways about it. Me, myself, I'd have never dared to help. But my missus told me a time of war and contempt's come. A time of folk gone wrong. We needs to repay good with good. Who stands by idly does evil as if.
Married a wise woman.
Crying shame we couldn't save Mrs. Anna in the end.
Thanks for your help.
The lady. She'll be all right in the end, won't she?
I'll do what I can to see that she is. So here our paths diverge. Thank you, Dea. Go in peace.
Vale, tenemos que hacer eso de ahí. Ahora no nos vamos a parar a luchar contra nada por nada del mundo. Hostias, estoy a punto de nivel 8 y esta misión es nivel 6. Bien, bien, bien. No voy a parar a luchar contra nada por nada del mundo, vamos. Porque ahora los rayos del sol empezaron a darme vida. Vale. Vamos a hablar con el varón y luego iremos a por Tamara. Después quedará Ana, que os acordáis de aquella vieja que cuida... Es que para mí era una vieja, tío, no tenía 40 años. ¿Os acordáis de aquella que cuidaba a los niños en el pantano? Y que gracias a ella conseguimos comunicarnos con las Moiras, que fueron las que nos dijeron lo de Ciri y eso. Pues, a ver, no sé, a lo mejor el pantano la ha dejado así, pero vamos, que cuarentona no era, ¿sabes? Era sesentona o 50 bien largos, o sea... No me jodas. Bueno, vamos a hablar con el varón sobre su familia. Y una vez eso, vamos a ir a ver a Tamara.
Ask a service of the Witcher, the Pellamist. A witcherly service, that's to say.
What do you need? Tell me.
A man who fears no evil the Pella needs. Forefathers' Eve is nigh. We've rites to conduct. Wandering souls to emerge. Damned souls, too. We've the circle to protect from these wretches.
Seems like you could use a witcher. So yeah, I'll help.
You'd not refuse. The Pella knew. The time's come to gather the folk. Across the lake we must journey. to Fyke Isle. There in the circle of stones we shall meet.
The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight at midnight.
Bueno,
Remember me?
Stable hand pulled you out of the fire.
We'll never forget that. Here. I'm grateful.
¿habéis visto si ayudas a la gente lo que obtienes? Cosas buenas.
Witcher, a word, please. Believe we've not had the pleasure. They call me the Sergeant. Left over from my army days, you understand. When me and Philip, meaning the Baron, served under a Temerian banner. Wanted to ask you about something.
A ver, ¿qué es lo que quieres?
What is it?
That night, when the Baron ordered everyone to lock their doors, stay inside. What did you and the Baron do?
Gotta ask the Baron about that. Speaking of which, know where he is?
Garden. Spends a lot of time sitting there of late.
Drunk.
No. Don't drink, don't eat. Just sits.
Bueno, espérate que aquí puede haber comida.
There you are.
See the hollyhock there? The violet blooms. Brought the plants here from Nazareth. Anna had read some story. Insisted on having them. Spent hours tending to them, trimming, pruning. She was so content at that. And them, the frilly ones, called birds of paradise in Zerrikania. But Tamara called them dragons of paradise. She adored them. Damn shame I'll never learn which blooms would please Dea most. Though it's good to know her spirit's free.
Got some information about your family.
You've learned something? Well, let's go inside. It's a bit chilly out. Any news for me?
Your daughter's in Oxenford.
What the blazes? She all right? In good health? Safe? Why haven't you brought her back?
Never offered to do that.
How do you know she's safe? You see her at least?
No, but I talked to the man who helped her escape and then took her in. Tamara is safe and sound. From what I gathered, she has no desire to see you again, no intention to return.
I shan't trust some peasant dolt. I shan't trust whoever it is helped her. I need to know for certain she's safe. Go to her. You must be sure. See her yourself. I shan't believe anyone else.
Vale, va.
That much I can do.
I'm grateful. Take this, call it enticement, and this might prove useful.
What is it?
A letter of safe conduct. Ever since the Redanians took hold of the Pontar Delta, they made it damned hard to get to Novigrad without one. Very well. You were to find them both. What of Anna? Learned anything?
We'll talk about her, don't worry. But right now, you'll tell me about Ciri, just like we agreed.
Fine. The word once given. When Ciri was on the mend, we took her out on a hunt. Thought a bit of galloping would warm up her limbs, gone stiff from so much bed rest.
Flashback con Cirilo de Sintra.
Pure luck in the flesh. To hunt down a wild boar that size, why, worthy of one of King Foltest's feasts, were he still among the living. Ciri, come! Our haunt should be yours as I see it.
Oh, you done well, lass.
Not bad. Not bad at all. But who goes boar hunting with a sword?
No bow at hand, no spear. My sword was all I had.
Well, you brandished it beautifully. Where'd they teach you that, anyway?
En Caer Mohen.
At Caer Morhen?
Witcher school there, aye. But they only took lads, as I recall.
They made an exception for me.
Right. Mean to say you're a she-witcher?
Not entirely. The mutations, I was never subjected to them. But everything else I know, I learned from the witches there.
Know any of them potions?
Not so much. A bit.
Because you see, at times I get this pinching back here.
Shut it, Egrin. Nobody cares about your backside. A woman could swing a sword. I've knowed one. But never seen a lady mount anything but a cock proper. All tipsy on horseback. Nothing strange on account they bloody mount them sideways.
Perhaps you'd care to wager?
Think you can outrun me on an horse? Naturally. What's the stake?
Black mare. The one in the stable.
Oh, that won't do at all.
What happened? You get the jitters?
No,
So why not?
the horse is mine.
To race the Baron himself. I'd consider it an honor.
Oh, that'd be a sight to behold.
Would it ever?
Done. But if I win, I take your sword.
Agreed.
I'd not drink any more this night. You'll want your head about you. And we start at daybreak.
Se queda con la espada esta con Cirael. Vale.
The day dawns.
Ready?
As ever, first one to the tower.
Man chop! Come on, Siri, don't you embarrass us!
Your sword is mine!
That'll be the day.
Vale. Aquí hay que hacer como le hice a Keira. Cerrarlo cuando me quede sin energía. He ganado.
You're wind, not woman. Worthy of the best horse. The mare is yours.
Thank you.
What?
El grifo.
Another chance to win.
¿No?
She screamed like a mad woman. In an instant, all had forgotten the wager. Every man ran to save his skin, even were it to break his neck.
And they make it?
Some, aye. Others were not so fortunate. But what happened then? I must say, Witcher, seen a lot, but nothing like this. Never.
Uh-oh. I know that look.
You're a fast learner. You'll know the rest once you find my wife.
Got news of your wife.
Plowing hell, why'd you not say so forthwith? Where is she? Why have you not returned with her?
She's in Crookback Bog. Got food, a place to live, and keeps herself busy. Didn't look like she had the slightest desire to leave.
You were to bring her back, not report on the conditions she lives under.
I was supposed to find her, and I did. That was our deal, nothing more.
You still think me rotten to the core. A base bastard, don't you? You believe I alone am at fault for what happened here?
¿Y quién más hay?
Actually, that's exactly what I think.
The world might seem black and white to you witches, but for us common folk, it's shades of grey. As is my family's story.
Probably
Venga,
gonna
va,
say you're not the
cuéntame.
only one to blame. All right then. I'm willing to hear your side of the story.
With Annie, it was love at first sight. A spear tore through my shoulder at the Battle of Anchor. She tended to my wound. Once I'd recovered, I asked her to marry me. She wept with joy. Soon after, Tamara was born. And after that, they sent me to Sidaris. The warlord had risen against King Ethan, and Foltest sent help. It was one battle to the next, one conflict after another. It was a life of war. I was seldom home, and I found comfort in drink. Grew so fond of hooch, I couldn't part with it when I did get home.
No voy a decir tampoco eso que nos está
All right.
contando la historia.
What then?
I went from front to front, battle to battle, collecting soldiers' coin, while Anna sat alone with the babe for months. Later, I learned she'd not been so alone after all. For nearly 3 years, she'd found comfort in the arms of one Evan, a childhood friend, a dog's bunghole. Understand, damn it? One tussle in the hay I'd have waved aside, put it out of my mind. But the woman cuckolded me for years, without a whisker of concern for me, for my love.
How'd you find out?
Came home one day and Anna was gone. The things too. Found a letter. She wrote that she didn't love me. That she'd left me for that knob licker and taken Tamara with her. Felt like I'd been rammed in the arse by a horse. I went to find the bugger, to get the girls back, bring them home. Yet soon as I saw him, something turned inside me, something dark. I slaughtered the shit-eating twat and fed his carcass to the dogs.
Imagine Anna wasn't exactly pleased.
Ha! Bloody understatement if I've ever heard one. She flew into a fit, hysteria, threw herself at me, kicking and clawing. Finally grabbed a knife. It would have been the end of me if I'd not leapt aside. It was the first time I hit her. I had to calm her. Felt I had no other means. Things changed. They would never be the same. Anna tried to take her own life, and mine, several times. She would prod me, goad me, taunt me, in the hope I would hit her again, perhaps. She'd scream that I'd robbed her a life of love, that I'd destroyed the idea for her, and so might as well kill her. How many times I apologized. How many armfuls of blooms and gifts I brought. She cared not a bit. 2 years of her anger had turned to indifference, broken at times by her bouts of hysteria and my bouts of drunkenness. Cannot fathom how we survived those years, but we did. Though as you know now, not everything was as it might have seemed.
Voy a decir que os merecéis porque los dos fuisteis unos cerdos.
You're right. Faults on both sides, yours and hers.
I'm content that you finally see that. Very well then. If you won't bring Anna home, you might at least tell me how she landed in that blasted swamp.
Vamos, nivel 8.
She made a pact with the crows. Well, I think she might have lost her mind.
A pact? What the bloody hell?
She was with child, a child she didn't want to bear. Went to the crones for help. They promised to rid her of the problem in exchange for a year of her service. And they kept their word, in their own twisted way.
What do you mean?
Anna must have thought the child inside her would somehow disappear. Instead, the crones sapped her of strength, and ultimately forced her body to miscarry. I think that's when she started to lose her mind. Then they placed magic tethers on her, tethers that cause great pain when tested. A guarantee she'll pay off her debt.
A pact with witches? Bloody nightmare, sounds like some jest. We must get her out. We can't leave her there.
O sea, es lo que crees.
Do what you will, but leave me out of this. You ask me, wading through the swamp to mess with the crones, just plain stupid.
What would you have me do? Sit on my ass and wait for her return? I'll send men, go with them myself, and we will pull her out.
I've warned you. What you do, that's your business.
Llegamos a un acuerdo.
We had a deal. I've done my part. Your turn to do yours.
A word once given. Now, what did I last...
Basilisk. It had just attacked you.
Basilisco, no, hombre.
Gargantuan. One solid brute.
Pero bueno.
I thought we breathed our last.
Watch out!
If I don't survive this, you're to take whatever you want from the fortress.
You'll survive!
Let's show this bastard what we're worth. In the trees!
Vale. Vamos. Sí, es que Siri tiene una regeneración increíble. Eso de si sobrevivimos, ¿tú estás haciendo algo, varón? No te veo a ti muy... Pues hasta aquí el vídeo de hoy, diría yo. Chavales, hasta aquí el vídeo de hoy, espero que os haya gustado y hasta la próxima. Adiós.